Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. When it comes to choosing products for our individual skincare routines, I think we all have our preferences. You know, our likes and our dislikes, the brands that we reach for more than others, the finishes that we enjoy in the skin, and of course, our individual price points and budgets. I'm fairly rigid in my preferences. I tend to stick to the same brands and the same products time and time again. However, I was looking over my skincare collection and there was a couple of products that stood out and I thought, you know what, under normal circumstances, I just wouldn't buy them, but they become a firm fixture day in, day out, and they're the ones I want to share with you in today's video. I call these like the skincare products I shouldn't like, but really love. So sit back, relax, let's talk some oddities in my skincare routine. Now, you guys are always roasting me to filth for the length of my introduction, so I'm going to keep this short, sharp, and to the point. Before we get into it, though, a very quick reminder to do all that YouTubey stuff if you haven't already. If you want to support me as a content creator, don't forget to reach down and give this video a thumbs up and a like. Subscribe, join our family if you haven't already, and of course, leave me a comment and let me know the one product that stands out in your own skincare routine and you would incorporate in this list today. In true Mad About Skin style, shall we just cut that waffle and delve straight on in? Now, let's kick things off with this. This is the Isntree Hyaluronic Acid toner. Now, this is going to come as a surprise to a lot of people because those of you that have watched the channel for some time know that my skin doesn't tolerate a lot of hyaluronic acid. I use too much of it, I get itchy, inflamed, more redness prone, kind of the opposite of what a lot of people reach for hyaluronic acid for. That's just my face though. On the body, for some reason, it's a totally different story. And I use this every single day when I hop out of the shower. Before my skin's fully dry, I'll put a good amount of this across the whole body, seal it in with a moisturiser. Trust me, this takes like your hydration game through the roof and to the next level. It's really cheap. I think for this I paid like £10 and you get, is this like 400ml of product. So it's a really inexpensive hack of tackling any dryness that you might have on the body. You can absolutely use this on the face, but this isn't something I would normally reach for. I tend to avoid hyaluronic acid, yet for some reason I'm buying it in what is practically its pure form and using it every single day. For very similar reasons, another product that's made it onto this list is this, the Stratia Fortify Facial Oil. So facial oils work for all skin types, but you need to reach for one that's specific to your individual skin's concerns. If, like me, you've got super oily and acne-prone skin, something like a rosehip seed oil can work really well. If you have very dry and dehydrated skin, you might want to reach for like a sea buckthorn oil or a jojoba oil. There is a facial oil out there for everyone, and I kind of summarized each and every one of them in a recent video, which I'm going to leave a link to up there. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't found your personal facial oil and holy grail. Now, normally I would avoid blended facial oils. Like I say, match the one that you choose to your individual skin type and your skin's needs. I think if you throw too many into one product, you can risk breakouts or exacerbating irritation. However, somehow this is just different. This is a blend of 3 key facial oils and it delivers for me time and time again. I think this is kind of proof that you can't just look at the ingredients in a product and know the full story. It all goes about the formulations, what they're combined together with, that gives the overall performance. So in here, you've got some camellia seed oil, you've got some tamanu oil, some squalane oil, and some cranberry seed oil, which is absolutely beautiful. And that perfect blend that just delivers in the winter months where my skin is a little bit more dryness prone. This is too heavy for me during the summer, though if you've got a dry skin type, this could work year round. But it doesn't break me out, it deeply nourishes and hydrates, and it just works so well. So whilst I would never usually recommend reaching for a blended facial oil, sometimes there is an exception to that rule, and this is definitely the case. Best thing is, for the whole month of November, you can get 20% off this, as you can all the Stratia products if you do want to shop them, and I've linked this, as I will all the products in the description box below. Now, a product that I think we all have like a love-hate relationship with is this. This is the ordinary 100% Ascorbic Acid powder. Now, I went mad for this when it first launched. It was different, you know, your skincare in powder form. You could kind of customize your products, mix the concentration you want. Fully bought into that hype. Then I realized this is literally impossible to use. The scoop's the wrong size. I mean, the scoop, if I can show you, if I haven't lost it already, because I do tend to lose scoops quite easily. It's really tiny, and they recommend you use like a quarter scoop. How are you going to get a quarter of that? It's ridiculous. It's really messy. It's really faffy, and so I decided, you know what, powdered vitamin C isn't for me. I just prefer to use a serum. However, I do like to use this on the body. In keeping with that hyaluronic acid toner that I just shared, I think this is a great addition to the body skincare routine. Get yourself your favourite moisturiser. I tend to use the Mad About Skin moisturiser. Then I'll put a scoop of this into it, work it into my hand, and then spread it across the body. Really helps over time to fade any discoloration that you might have on the body, any textural irregularities. I'll maybe do this like 2 or 3 times a week because I think that's all it needs. And whilst I probably wouldn't be that, you know, haphazard with my application application on the face. Again, the body can tolerate a lot more than the skin on our face usually can, and this works really, really well for me. Some people will say, you know what, this is useless because you're not getting the exact pH right when you formulate it yourself at home. You might not be using the right quantities, and I take that all on board, which is why it's not a staple in my facial skincare routine. But you know, on the body, I have seen some really good results, and for like the £4 they're charging for this, I definitely think it's worth it. One scoop in your favourite moisturiser across the body, and you know what? It really, really pays dividends. Now, for those of you that watch the channel sometime, you'll know I'm not a fan of the Inkey list. I am super drugstore to my core. I like to keep things really cheap, but I just think there's so many problems with the Inkey list as a brand. They're pretty shady. I think a lot of their marketing is ridiculously misleading, and they reformulated a lot of their products, and their new launches just aren't that. There's a whole host of reasons why I don't shop them. I'll link them in a video up there kind of covering the core ones. However, sometimes when a product works, it just works. And in this case, it's a salicylic acid cleanser from the Inkey list. I don't think I use any other Inkey list products in my skincare routine bar this one, but the reason this is like the anomaly is because it's just so good. I get the odd breakout on my chest, on my back, and across the shoulders. So I'll actually use this as my shower gel on those specific areas, and it just keeps everything in check. I feel so much more confident having reached for this. The blemishes that I do get are probably like 80% less than what they were before, and they heal really, really quick. There are lots of different salicylic acid cleansers, and I've tried so many to kind of find a replacement for this, but just none of them deliver the same that this does. So, despite the fact I don't tend to buy the Inkey list for my daily skincare needs, I'll always keep buying this because I just can't find a better alternative. Now, zooming into the home straight, but I've got two other products I want to mention. Let's call out this. This is the Sioris My First Essencer. So, this is a relatively new product, but I'm now on bottle, I think like number 3. I'm not a huge fan of toners or essences. I use a hyaluronic acid toner on the body, but on my face, I tend to keep to the Secret Key Starting Treatment Essence, and that's really the only one I reach for. I know there are people out there that like to do like 7-step toners in their skincare routine, and if that works for you, keep doing it. But for me, it's just too much faff, and I don't necessarily like the texture of a toner. I'd much prefer a serum. However, somehow I've got hooked on a toner and an essence all in one. This is a really good formulation, and if you can see like the viscosity of that, it's almost like a serum. So I think this is a toner for people that don't like toners, if that makes sense. In here, you've got a ridiculously high concentration of organic green tea, which is a powerful antioxidant. It's going to calm and soothe the skin as well. You've got some polyglutamic acid, which is a great humectant to plump out and deeply hydrate the skin. It retains moisture within itself, so it prevents some of that transepidermal water loss that we can experience. You've also got some great calming and soothing botanicals in here, and I think this is way, way more than just your standard toner. Like it says on the bottle, it's that toner, an essence, all in one beautiful product. As I said, I'm on bottle number 3 of this, and I just love it. If you see how it applies, it's really quite viscous, which I personally appreciate. This is like the texture that I love in my skincare routine. It's got some rose flower water in here, again, to just dial up that hydration, calm and soothe. And whilst there's no artificial fragrance, it's got a really delicate scent to it, which is really nice, particularly in your morning skincare routine. This is such a great find. And yes, I'm not the biggest toner and essence person, but this I think is going to be with me for the long haul. And finally, I want to call out this. This is a PSA Skin Reset Cleanser. Now, I have always said since the start of my journey here on YouTube that you don't need to spend too much on your cleansers. Keep it under like $20 because a cleanser is just like a means to an end. You kickstart your skincare routine with it, prep the skin, and then you can follow with all of the good stuff. I still keep to that ethos. However, somehow I keep reaching for this product time and time again, even though that does break through my budgetary rule when it comes to cleansers. That's because this is super elegant, luxurious, and bougie feeling on the skin. We all need a little luxury in our lives, and actually, this isn't too ridiculously expensive, particularly because it's buy one, get one free at the moment, so I have recently just stocked up. And this is something that just brings that little joy, that happiness. Makes me feel like I'm almost at the spa when I apply it, even though I'm very clearly not. I'm just in my standard bathroom, and the happiness that this brings means I will break that cleanser rule and reach for it time and time again. I maybe use this like 3 or 4 times a week. I like to maintain it as like a real treat rather than like an everyday cleanser because of that price point. But I think, as I said before, there are always exceptions to the rules. And whilst I wouldn't necessarily pay this much for a cleanser every single day, for a treat, if it makes you feel special and brings you happiness, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And this is a product that I will continue to use time and time again. I shouldn't like it, but honestly, I love it. And this is probably my biggest love of all the ones I've shared with you today. So there you have it, guys, a rundown of like the anomalies in my skincare routine. All of these products work really well, but I think I've had to learn how to adjust them, apply them in the right way and on the right areas of the body to get the maximum results. Hopefully by this you'll see that, whilst rules are there to be followed, they're not like an absolute. You can bend the rules to suit your own budget, your skin's needs, and adapt these products to work in a way that delivers you the maximum benefit. What doesn't work on the face might work wonderfully on the body. Whilst you normally like to keep it super affordable, there's nothing wrong with a little treat, a little bouginess in your life every so often. And I just think these are the products that I'll continue to use, even though they go against a lot of the ethos that I usually apply when it comes to skincare. Sound off in the comment section below with that one product that you shouldn't like, but honestly love. And I want to give a big shout out to Kelly Driscoll to end this video, because she's really the inspiration behind the content that you see here on the channel today. I love Kelly Driscoll. Like, her channel is one of my absolute favorites on YouTube, and I recommend her all the time. She filmed this video over on her channel. I loved watching every second of it and thought, you know what, this would be a really cool one to recreate here. As I said, Kelly is the inspiration behind today's video, and I just want to give her the world's biggest shout out. If you haven't checked out her channel, you are truly missing out. I've linked it in the comments section below and in the description box. Make sure you follow her. Go over there, show her a little love, watch her equivalent video, which honestly is definitely 10 minutes worth well spent. And yeah, just show Kelly the love that she definitely deserves. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.